This is practice exercise 18. I will do this one in Java. We want to count the uppercase characters present in a given string. So given some string S, we want to count the number of uppercase characters in that string. So let's look at an example. Example 1, we've got CKJK, kind of looks like a password, and then caps UUYII. And so the last 5 characters are uppercase, so the number is 5. The next one is we're given ABCD, and we don't have any uppercase characters, so we'd expect it to be 0. So a couple quick test cases here, or example cases. So let's go ahead and create our project in Java. I will use Maven for this. So Control-Shift-P, we'll go down to Maven New Project. I'm going to do all this with the keyboard. I'm not going to use the mouse for this. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to get faster with your tool, it's always good to learn what some of the shortcuts are and the ways to use your IDE without using the mouse. I'll do the quick start because we do want to use either a class library or a console app. In this case, it'll just be a class library. We use the latest version, and let's give it our package name. So com.lucenterry.practiceexercises.count uppercase characters. Let me grab that last part. We'll paste that in as the artifact name. Folder, this is going to be in my delete me folder. Trust and continue. I don't need a repo. All right, so version number will leave the same, and we will confirm on that, so everything looks good there. Yes, I want you to open that. That looks great. And now let's copy the MD file in so we have it. Excellent. All right, so we are set up and ready to go. We likely will have a Java runtime versioning problem, so let's wait for that to activate. I believe I have JRE 21, but let's find out for sure. All right, so there's our warnings and errors down in the bottom left. And we can see the warning. It says it was specifying 1.7, but I have 21. So your version may be a little different. We'll just open up the pom.xml file, change these values here. 21. There we go. Save. Always synchronize the class path configuration. And we're ready to rock and roll. All right. So let's head down into the source folder under the tests. And let's think through what we're doing here. So we're counting uppercase characters. So let's create our test class. This will be count uppercase characters tests. Let's clean this file up a little bit, and I can get rid of this bottom window. I'll get rid of the comment lines. We don't need those. We'll reformat this and convert everything to tabs. That looks better. And now our first one is going to be example 1. So example 1, we want to say S is this funny looking string there. And then our expected output is going to be 5. Interesting how it kind of knows. So it's probably looking at the basically the README file as a part of the IntelliSense, as part of the AI IntelliSense. All right, so now from here, we need to create a class and we need to create an object. We could do what it's suggesting, which is create some static class with a static method or a class with a static method. I'm not usually a fan of static methods. There are times and places for them, but in general, we have more refactoring options and design options and design patterns available when we use instance classes. So I'm going to do that instead. So we're going to need to create some object that basically represents the thing that's going to do the work. So this is a thing that is going to know how to count uppercase characters. So it can examine strings for uppercase. And we might be able to use it for other examinations. So it's a string examiner. All right, I like that. So we'll call this an examiner equals a new string examiner. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll say uppercase character count equals examiner dot get uppercase character count. Given S. And then finally, we'll do our assertion here. Let me change our import. We'll just do the star import. And then we'll just say assert equals that our expected output equals the uppercase count there, the character count there. So that looks pretty good. I like that. So let's go ahead and copy this now, and we'll create example 2. Switch back over. This is going to be ABCD with a value of 0. All right, so we're ready to go here. Let's go back to main. So what we want to do is, we're not going to do this as a console application. We're just going to keep this as a class library or shareable package. So I don't need app.java, so I'll just repurpose that. I'll rename app to string examiner. So there's the class I want. And let's kill a lot of this stuff here. So I don't want the comments. I don't need the main method. Let's reformat, and let's make sure it's in tabs. There we go. All right, so we'll head back. The string examiner class is now being resolved, but we do need to create our method. So I'll control period and create the method there. Let's head back, make sure it did everything correctly. That looks good to me. So let's return. I'm going to do -1 since 0 is actually one of our test cases. That way we guarantee both of these are going to fail. So let's head back and let's do our tests now. Let's see if we get the failures we're expecting. We do get failures. It is failing on the assertion and failing on the assertion. So we are set up and ready to go. So again, we've got our tests here directly from the MD file, and then that drove our design. So we've got our string and examiner class. Now you need to implement this method here. So replace this logic with what needs to go in there to make the test pass. Good luck.